give us an official day off, or at least if he worked in Suffolk County, essentially was, the State House and City Hall. So it wasn't something shared by everybody with they were a little bit chagrin at that. But so it was a holiday of sorts. And of course, the parade comes up this weekend, and today we're all a little bit Irish, and I guess Larry has Guinness, so good for him.
Yeah, well done.
I can have those under rare circumstances, but tonight is not.
I have Guinness every night.
Good for you. Guinness is good for your health. I mean, I love all those World War II posters, that vintage era of the Brits, apparently Guinness can cure anything. So I'm surprised that they don't push that a little bit more around this time of the year. So, John, how are we doing? We thought we might start with a little bit of a St. Patrick's salute here. And if John can share his screen to the video link I sent him, we'll.
Yeah, it should be running. Or maybe it's done now.
Yeah.
Let me know if you hear it.
Whoop. Let's see, line is sitting here. Okay, let me, sorry about that. Let me go try and share my screen with this. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to try and play this through. Hopefully everyone will be able to see
it's
this.
about 4 minutes. I mean, I'll chat a little bit through it, but I mean, we'll give you a little bit of the spirit of the holiday from Boston, which it's a fairly significant one for us down here. So,
all right, are we ready?
You go for it, John. I can see it. I don't have any volume, John. All right. Well, John is working. So there's.
I think, if I can interrupt, I think if you go down to, there's some way to change your audio source to the internal audio of the computer.
Yes, it's in the YouTube options. Yes, Larry is correct.
No, I'm talking about on Zoom. I'm talking about on Zoom.
Yeah, Zoom option.
Yeah, I think if you hit the up arrow next to the mute switch, you can go for the, you have the various options there.
We used to go to the Plow and Stars on St. Patrick's Day.
I used to deliver, when I went to school in Boston, I delivered beer to the Plow and Star on Mass Avenue.
Yeah, oh, that's the one and only. I don't even know if it's still there. It's been so long.
About 4 years ago, I went by it. It was still there. But I used to work for a wine and liquor store when I was going to college in Brookline and Coolidge Corner. And I would go over there with some Pilsner to the Plow and Star.
I mean, I don't know where this band just walked into now, but it kind of reminded me of the narrow, small front entrance of the Plow and Stars and the little tiny stage in the back. And
hey, John, when I saw the YouTube icon come up, it looked like the YouTube mute was on. So maybe
I cut the volume down a little bit just because nobody would be able to hear. At least I wouldn't be able to hear when you're speaking. So I'll raise it up again.
So I think you may be hearing it, but the group can't.
Yeah.
Hey, John, I think what you have to do, I think I have the solution, if I could speak for a minute. John, if you click on mute, mute at the lower left corner of your screen and select a microphone, try same as system.
So that would be the mute on the Zoom screen.
Is that better?
Yeah.
No, I still don't hear anything. Maybe that wasn't the solution.
When you do screen sharing, isn't there a button that says use computer audio or something like that?
Let's see.
A checkbox. Maybe stop the sharing and try restarting. There's a couple.
Well, no worries. I kind of launched this on John at semi last minute here as I was checking this out tonight. So I'll give you a little background on this. This is the Boston Police Gala Column walking unannounced into one of the more iconic bars, which unfortunately is no longer with us in the city's Jamaica Plain neighborhood. So you can kind of imagine, the jocularity, shall we say, going on in there prior to their arrival. Only a few people who were in the know knew these guys were going to come. So they essentially got out of a bus and walked up the street and turned into this not the biggest place on the face of the planet. I don't think they had a permit to do this type of thing, but in they go. And well, the place absolutely erupts. And of course, you know, what could be better on St. Patrick's Day? So, you know, the guys are quite skilled and the pipes and the drums are quite good. And everybody was well on their way to having a good day anyway. Well, it was quite a show. So we just thought we'd say Happy St. Patrick's Day to all. We're all a little Irish today. And thanks for taking a few minutes before we kick off to take a look. So you guys, I might post that in the NEVEE group. You can check it out at your leisure. But in any event, so this evening we're doing a little bit of a show recap. And from everything I was able to gather, whether it was in the chat or from people I had spoke to, very well attended, a lot of pent up radio shopping was taken care of.
Yeah, I agree there.
So it was a good deal for everybody involved, and everybody seemed to have a good time. And unfortunately, probably if you've been following the discussions, you know, maybe our last time up at that Marriott. So, but it was a great event, and thanks to all who put their backs into it, so to speak, as far as whether working the front or crowd control or getting things arranged and set up. So John, I will turn it over. We'll
All right.
kind of make some comments as we go along, usually
Absolutely.
do, and I'll let the group ask some questions and probably have a little bit of Name That Radio here tonight as well. So
Oh, absolutely. There's plenty of, you know, some offbeat radios and interesting things. I thought that overall the quality and quantity was very impressive. And that's really speaking a lot of, that's high praise really, because all our shows always have really good quality stuff. And I've come away with lots of interesting stuff over the past shows. This one was just caught my eye even more so, you know, maybe just the luck where everybody brought in all these neat stuff all at once. And we had great attendance. And the one thing I also noticed before I started sharing photos is I was impressed by the number of, let's say, younger generation people walking around and actually talking to people and coming away with stuff. I was like, wow, this is really what we wanted to see finally. And maybe the tide is turning a bit where we really get to captivate people's interests. I mean, a lot of them are coming out with records. There's nothing wrong with that. But, you know, they were talking to others. I happened to be at tables where they were talking to to some of about some of the electronics that were there. So at least there's some hope. But anyway, without further ado, let me share my screen with the photos, which should hopefully go a little bit better this time around. Here we go. On with the show. So, you know, my way of photographing is as soon as I walk into, you know, the room, I just start taking photos. So there's no particular order intended here, but you'll see a wide variety of stuff. So here is a Kenwood microphone.
very nice.
That was, I think, on Bruce's table, in fact, actually. Really nice shape. Almost looks brand new for all intents and purposes. It's really in such fine condition. And here's another microphone. Now, I'm not entirely sure which model this is, but I know it's $30, judging from the price. I don't know if anyone knows that one, but
Nice silver tone behind there too with the tuning eye. Very soft.
yes. In fact, I have
$195.
some better. I never cease to be impressed how nice silver tone radios can be, especially the dial faces. They have some beautiful radios. And I have a better photo of this because Bruce kindly turned it on for me, and I have it on with the tuning eye lit. So there is a better photo later. So moving right along here. Tivoli. I bet a number of you guys remember this. You know, they used to have stores. I remember seeing one Tivoli store in the mall at one point. This is years ago, probably 20 or 30.
I think Cambridge Soundworks used to sell Tivoli stuff too.
Yeah, exactly. And I was very tempted because I thought they were really nice quality items that sounded nice, but I never actually came away with one. Although I did buy a Cambridge Soundworks radio, which I did like. I had it for many years until it started showing misbehavior. But this, you know, with the box, I thought, okay, it's a nice, neat radio. Of course, Bruce's table, big surprise, lots of tubes. And of course, normal the normal stuff that Bruce brings between speakers and all sorts of neat stuff. He had a lot of interesting things here. Okay, here's Philco. That
Very nice.
Bruce was selling. Very nice piece. I think I have a better photo of this later.
I think that's also known as the backbreaker, you know, because you go to pick that thing up and it's like,
yeah,
it's all in a table model set, a beautiful.
Is that the 16B model? Do you know?
I think it's is it the 610?
Or I don't. I mean, I'm
Maybe
not
it's
sure.
630 or 40.
I'm not
Okay.
sure.
There was a huge Philco
Yeah.
tombstone. That was, I think, the largest tombstone ever made, and it looks like it, but I can't tell. It may not be what I'm thinking of.
That could be. I know there's a few radios and that applies, you know, to like those Philcos. There are some those big tabletops. They are heavy. I can speak to even some of the German ones. You know, I've got a Nordmenda Tannhäuser from 1956, 57.
Come on.
And I call it the Tannhäuser because the thing weighs in. It feels like it weighs in easy 40 pounds. It's like, ooh, lifting that up, and that's a tabletop.
Yeah, well, those early 30, you know, those mid and early 30s Philcos just command a good price and high performers.
Oh,
Big
absolutely.
speakers, nice sets.
It's hard to beat American units pre, I don't know, 1950. I'll pick a year. It's not maybe a precise one. It really is hard to because they're just
Cute little
aesthetically
selection of
sound.
units.
But nice selection of Zenith transistors that Bruce brought along there. I think they must be all part of the same year, same, I guess, different colors that were available from the same radio. I don't claim to know the exact model of these, but the only difference is this one here because it's a
Mint
different.
green, Royal 500s.
There we go. Yes, you're right. It's right in front of me. But Bruce had, I guess maybe I am assuming either there's a different year or specific to this color, you had a different grill cover style. I find that interesting. Oh, this was interesting. This is also Bruce's table here. This is called a mech Trailblazer.
Yeah, Emerson had a set similar to that. It kind of, you know, tries to duplicate the look of a group of books.
Yes.
And, so I've seen the Emerson, and then the John Mech Company apparently had one as well. And cosmetically, sometimes they're a mess. This one is pretty sharp, I have to tell you.
Yeah, it is. It looks very little. I mean, I see a little bit of lifting here, but it's minor. I mean, that's something that's probably very fixable. But I'd be reluctant to do anything too aggressive on there. This is a really nice shape. Most of Bruce's radios are anyway, but this caught my eye because I've never seen one. I've seen the Emerson, but not the Mech. So I thought that was really intriguing.
They're a company out in the Midwest. You tend not to see too many mechs back east.
Yeah. This is sort of the theme I see at the show. Is there's a lot of these lower, like lesser known marks that were showing up, and I really enjoyed it because it's like a rare opportunity to see something in person instead of looking.
But strangely enough, that little dial pointer kind of screams Emerson. You know, whoever was making those parts, you know, maybe they sold to Mech as well, but there's several Emersons that have that similar square in the pointer there.
Interesting. It's interesting
But
they just kind of cut a
design.
yeah. It's a neat little radio. It really is. I'm sure it works because usually Bruce's radio, all of them work, and actually not ridiculously priced. I mean, it's $195, and it's certainly from the rarity standpoint.
You know, that's probably your standard AA5, but given, you know, the rarity of it, that's probably about what it would command.
Yeah, that was my thinking as well. There's lots of TOs or different or the lesser versions thereof.
That is a nice radio. I have one of those.
Do you?
And, if you carry that around enough, you don't have to go to the gym. You know,
Yeah.
it's not a lightweight, but they're great sounding, very selective, very sensitive sets. Nice Zenith.
Yeah,
Antenna in it, it's a beauty.
Yeah, and this one you don't see all that often. Not that I'm claiming it's rare, but I've not actually seen this particular model all that often. Usually see the big 5000s, you know, it seems to be enough of those around. In fact, there's plenty there was I would say above average number of TOs or RCAs equivalent throughout the show.
They play great on FM, and I'm very fond of those separate, you know, dial indicators. Those are kind of cool.
Yes, I like it. In fact, I was thinking about that. It's actually very attractive. But I have to agree on the weight. I have a Y5000 as well, the last interesting year of the TOs, and those weigh a lot. You know,
Yeah,
like
the
you said,
battery
Paul.
that definitely pumps it up a little bit too.
Yeah, mine's run. I actually don't run mine on battery. I have the one battery for the. You need to put the one battery in for get the dial light, right? But even without the batteries, the thing is no lightweight. This is early 70s, and you know they've not lightened the load, which shows the quality was still there back then. No question about it. Oh, what a surprise! You have another TO. Like I said, there's going to be lots of them. But this one's again, I guess must be more of a mid-range TO.
It's in very nice shape. The map.
It is.
You know,
Trying to see if it has a okay. It didn't has the chart.
yeah,
So
the dial map. Oh,
you know, that's I'm trying to see if it had a model number on here, but I don't see it. But another, you know, this is I think was on Bruce's table, I think, but I can't swear to it. Like I said, there's a lot of
well, it seems to
TOs.
have all the pull-out maps, and then the other thing on those is a lot of times the dial screen is kind of beat up. That's in
Yeah.
great shape.
Yeah, it is.
That's a Zenith 3000 or a 3001.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Is that Jeff?
Yes, this is Jeff.
I knew it because you had a bunch you were selling as well. So I
Yeah.
it was you. You had a lot of nice radios, by the way, which there are photos of we will get to.
Okay.
And this one should be, this is 7,000, right? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the one I believe I have.
That's very cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and these are not, and mine I have, the only thing I wish I don't have is I wish I had the documentation, you know, the owner's manual on there and so forth, but otherwise mine's in nice shape. The one thing they have a common problem, I think it's probably true with many of them, is that they start getting a little bit of pitting around the chrome area, the sort of plasticized chrome. I have that on mine a little bit, but it's not anything I'm going to deal with. I just leave it be as original. The gang of four who did a selfie. So so I think we know who this is, and you know, Roger, Al Perkis, and of course me. Just we happen to be there.
Radio experts.
Well, you know, I stand only in the shadow of these gentlemen. You know, but yeah, we just happened to be there at the same time, so I took a selfie. So
Very nice.
It's the Blue Man Group.
there you go.
I've seen those guys before at shows.
I've never seen these before. I assume these little transistor radios. You know what? I'm not sure what these are, but I think I could be wrong, but I thought I saw.
If you look at that little eBay description there, they're banks. They're little banks.
Oh, I get it.
RCA repairman.
Oh, now I see that. That's really quite neat. That's just a nice piece of promotional item.
I was
As you
going to guess
recap your
salt and pepper
radios, you
shakers.
put the old caps in their heads until they're full.
Guy, what were you gonna say, Larry?
I said I was going to guess salt and pepper shakers.
Yeah, they would
You can
actually be a good.
modify it. You can make a modification.
Yeah, just to drill a little bit of holes and make the right number, 5 for salt, 3 for pepper, or whatever. But you hate to do that in a promotional item. It's probably worse. Like, I'm sure the price is wholly appropriate for, you know, for something that's probably, I've never seen these before. They are in nice shape too. Although this poor guy's missing his RC, his little emblem. But
Oh, well,
oh well. Hey,
wear and tear.
yeah, exactly. Oh, Larry brought this. I thought it was a really neat demo. Larry, maybe you want to talk a little bit about this.
Oh, yeah, this curve tracer now belongs to someone on this video call. It was kind of a prearranged deal, but while I was waiting for him to come collect it, I hooked it up to a little jig I made, which has a 6SN7 in it. And I had it set up to be able to trace the curves of either triode in the 6SN7 as at the flick of a switch, so that you could see how well the curves matched between the two triodes. So what you're seeing is the plate curves for a 6SN7 triode section.
Yeah, that was neat. I have a better photo of this a little later, slightly better one we can touch on, but it's a neat demo.
Yeah, I'm the proud owner of that beauty now. Gravity is now higher in my town and lower in Larry's because of the movement of this mass, from Maine to Massachusetts. So it's cool. I like it.
What is that cool thing down on the lower right?
That's a homebrew 10, well, actually it had coils in it for 10 meters, but I suppose it could go anywhere in the HF band. Homebrew trans that I picked up at some point, and it found a new owner at the show.
What's the tube?
It uses a 6V6 oscillator into an 807, so it's a master oscillator, power amplifier, crystal controlled oscillator, and a 6N7 as an AM modulator.
Oh, nice looking little unit.
Yeah, it was cute, and I was going to play with it, but I've run out of time, and I had to get rid of it.
Interesting. Did you end up parting with it?
Yeah. Somebody, I had a price of $25 on it, and somebody scarfed it up.
Nice. Well, $25 is pretty reasonable.
Yeah, I guess it depends on the crowd. I mean, this is the kind of thing that, believe it or not, might go begging at a ham fest.
That's funny. This is also something you were on your table, right, Larry?
Yep, and everything but the receiver went that you see there.
Interesting. That caught my eye. I think I have a better photo of this in a moment, so I will wait for the next one because I did take one. So you sold the speakers and the turntable.
Yep.
Well, I'm not surprised. I saw a lot of people walking around with records. I mean, and so record sales did well.
Yeah, I saw that too. I noticed that a lot of records were being carried around.
There we go. Yeah, nice Technics turntable, which is surely Technics made fine turntables for the time.
Looks like a display right out of Tech Hi-Fi. I'm surprised they didn't buy the whole unit.
Yeah, I know. I find it interesting. Were you selling these as a package, or were you selling them piece by piece, Larry, when you sold these?
Any way I could.
So you didn't do what can I do to take this baby home today?
True entrepreneur.
I had a note saying I'd make a deal on the package or make me an offer on the components separately.
Monty Hall.
There we go. So did anyone show up in a costume?
You have a tube of toothpaste.
There we go. This is just a random shot of conversations to be had just before the cattle run occurred. So we had Joe made it, and of course there's Tom, and that's Roger's son, I believe, Kyle. And people starting to mill in, but this is just a table, the people running the tables. I just took some random shots occasionally of just club members before they opened the gates and the cattle came flying in. If anyone knows, I'm sure they realize this is a knockoff, right?
Aaron, you know, the
Yeah, 'cause
interesting
it had a
thing is if you
cassette
look at
player
the
on the side.
pointer, it looks like it has a little Z on the circle, but it one of these parts doesn't belong, right?
Well, the FM band gives it away, I think.
Oh, there we go. Yes, yes, there it is. Yes. You know, it's so close. They do, I have to admit, it's one of those things where I wouldn't mind owning one, but I'd rather have the original. But they did a pretty compelling job, you know, in terms of this, the aesthetics.
I haven't seen one of those as a, you know, as like a repro.
Yeah, that's what this is.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
if
'cause
the
it's got the
FM
FM.
band didn't- if the FM band didn't do it, the cassette player on the side certainly would tip you.
I was just gonna say that. Look for the
Yeah.
cassette player.
Yeah.
Dead
Zenith
giveaway.
knobs on a Crossley set, right?
Yeah. But you know, on at first glance, if you were at the, let's say the 20 foot, 25 foot away, you know, between the two, it's hard to tell the difference initially if they're in the same condition. You know, it's when you get close, you realize, oh, so actually at least command surprisingly significant money. You know, this was priced, I think, at $50, which is not actually out of range for what they're getting these days. So if you look at like eBay and things like that, a lot of them are all around the same price point. You know, if you
Years from now, there'll be a whole subgroup of collectors who collect
Yeah.
these.
no, it's true. It's true. It's maybe slightly sad, but it's true.
Yeah, it looks like the real thing too. I've got one right here. That's white.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's a good point, Greg. You know, you have the white one, and like I said, the 20 foot away, I would think it was the deal until you get close and you say,
One time I had one and they sounded good. They looked the part.
yeah. If I were looking for something that, you know, for just decorative purposes and wanted an everyday driver with FM, that's the real reason. You know, if you look for FM, it wouldn't be a bad decision. You know. But yeah, here is that slightly better picture of Larry's demo. You know, with the scope output, I thought was a little bit more interesting here. But that was neat. This is a clock. This is a radio. I'll show you. I have a picture later. The radio access is on the right side. I forget if this actually calls out the name. Maybe it does on the dial face. Does it say unknown? No, it actually says unknown. And even
The
I
unknown collection. It's not cheap. I don't know if you got his asking price.
let's see. Yeah, $350.
$50.
Wow.
Yowza.
Yeah,
Penny clock.
I have
not sure the radio.
I have a feeling, and I could be wrong, that he took that home, but I don't know for sure. Because got Howard about to join. Oh, this is that guy. There's a guy, vendor, brought a lot of these off-brand names. I thought this interesting. Ari?
Aria?
Aria. There we go. Aria.
Look
Yeah.
at that louvered look.
Yeah, it's almost something you see out of like a European. First look, I thought it was European. But it looks like it's just, you know, it's just a standard broadcast radio. I know nothing about these, but I don't know if anybody else on the call does. But I thought, well, this is intriguing. I've never seen this before. An Air King. Okay, so that you can see this is also on the thing. But that was also, you know, not something you see very often. Attractive enough radio and nice enough shape. I have no idea whether this is restored, so maybe the price is a bit ambitious. I'm not sure what it was, but I thought it was certainly photo worthy.
No, that's pretty sharp. Air King was down in Brooklyn, New York, for those who like to buy something from Brooklyn.
Oh, I did not know that.
So, you know, I mean, those are like your 5 and 6 tube sets. And then the Air King had sort of those iconic radios from the early 30s that command, you know, the skyscraper that command prices. Yeah. But, you know, they went off into sort of routine manufacture of AA5s and 6s. There's a great piece in one of the IEEE living history sort of blogs from a guy who worked at Air King. He tells you all the stories. He started, I think, after he got out of the Signal Corps, and he went from sort of the production base to the troubleshooting base, and just, he shared a lot of very interesting little non-technical things that they, would try. He worked on the set, he worked on the table where they sent the sets that didn't work, that came off the production line. And it was just kind of interesting to see, because we get into these very intense electronic and schematic evaluations. And he would say, well, the guy told me to hit this part with a hammer. And, it was just very strange. His name was Gustav Shapiro. But, it's just kind of an insight as to how some of these factories actually work. But yeah, Air King is, the building is still there from what I understand.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Interesting. My mother's from Brooklyn.
Something looks suspicious about those knob shafts. Why are they sticking out so far?
I noticed the
Maybe
same
not the
thing, Bruce.
original
Good
knobs.
point. I don't know what the deal
Maybe
is
he
there.
didn't have a
I
chassis
think
just
those
to-
are the wrong knobs.
Yeah.
That's, I believe, from another radio, and maybe the
Yeah.
real knobs will fit closer to the cabinet. I don't
maybe
think
a little
that's.
deeper and a little larger.
Yeah, I suspect you're right there.
I know that I've seen those knobs on another radio or a few, and I don't think the Air King had pretty nice knobs, and they also had Capital radios and Plascon and stuff.
Made a bunch of stuff for Sears. Excuse me, had a lot of Silvertones were Air Kings.
Oh, is that right?
Chassis number 110 was your tip off on a Sears Silvertone that it was an Air King product.
Oh, okay. Good to know. But overall, it's certainly, if one can find the right knobs, certainly an
Kind of a
attractive
sharp, I'm betting post-war set, but that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's certainly in solid shape to be, cleaned up and restored a little bit further. At least brought up, shined up a bit further, electronically restored. Just find the right knobs and have a neat little radio.
Area was a Detrola brand.
I'm sorry.
Area was a Detrola brand.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So now we know. So was a model or was it a spin-off from Detrola?
It was a sub-brand.
Got it.
I guess
Thank
that's
you.
the appropriate term.
Hey,
Thank you.
Carl, you
Probably
fixed
made
your
just
audio.
outside of Detroit.
I did. I changed the 6SN7.
Oh, good. Did you put in one of those red base 6SN7s? That was probably what did it.
Yeah. I think the old one was just going bad. So I pulled off the LCD screen and put a new one in.
Gotcha.
All right. Moving on. The Fisher, not a Fisher, the Fisher radio. It's actually, you can see it's got the preset buttons that you could actually tune in individually, then lock it. That was sort of a popular approach used by manufacturers, probably like the late 60s into the, I don't know, at least into the early 70s. Because I've got my Arena receiver. It's from 1973. It's a Danish receiver. It's got these very interesting little. You just turn it and you pull it, and it locks in the station. So it's early presets. But this one's not too bad a shape. It's got a little bit here, but it looks like it's mostly there. Certainly fixable. What the price? $60? No. Here is a Motorola, I believe. Is it Motorola? Yeah, I believe it is. Portable battery set, I guess. A little bit. It's all there. Needs a little bit of TLC.
The handle doesn't look too bad, and on a lot of those, that's what the trouble is,
Yeah, that's the problem because they're the first things to go because they're carrying a lot of weight. Plus, the material just wasn't, between the oils and the hand and the dirt, and it starts degrading. Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't see that Motorola.
Was that right?
I said, I'm glad I didn't see that Motorola. It would have came home with me.
Oh, that's too bad. Well, I don't know. I think I can't think of his last name. I think his first name was Michael. he's also sold the grill cloth.
Michael Katz.
Yes, thank
Oh,
you.
okay.
I'm pretty sure it's Michael Table.
Okay.
You may still have it, so bear it in mind there, Jeff.
I will.
So what do we have here? Now, this is your name.
Well, the scutcheon looks familiar. Is that an RCA? It's got the RCA type knob in the middle.
I'm looking for
silver. Yeah, it is an RCA. It looks like an RCA. It's got RCA knobs on it.
nice unit. Yeah, looks all there. Certainly looks more than solid shape, and just even some little bit of elbow grease in the cabinet would actually bring spark.
Tri-band.
Yeah, it's everything. The escutcheon it's all in pretty good shape.
That 10-8 grill is in very nice shape too.
Yeah. So this
Those are
It's
all-
like one that the band selector, I don't know if it was lit or colored, would kind of come up in the middle there. But sometimes it's funny on those RCAs, like they use that
this thing.
dial with sets that it didn't really work. You know, they just put it in because they used it on another set. So, but I like that little sort of a smaller tombstone type design.
Yeah,
Cool.
I like this clever tuning fork style. Style, and it's just purely style, but it's a rather attractive radio.
Yeah, the wood's not bad. I like the inlaid look and
Yeah. Nice in there.
contrast there. I don't think that's a faux finish down the bottom. I could be wrong.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, nice.
a little bit.
Off a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice radio. I like it.
Mhm.
Well, if you could
Oh,
only
this
buy
was
like
this-
this is the
here's-
one we were looking at earlier for 350, huh?
yeah, and here's the radio portion.
Yeah,
See
yeah.
this broadcast.
Yikes.
This I can't. So it has a okay, it has a selector, but maybe oh, it does have a
Probably RF.
yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, it's an unusual piece. No idea who made it, or at least Michael didn't know, because I think that's his. I think that was his table.
Well, I'm sure the guy who had it researched it extensively if he couldn't dope it out.
It's in cosmetically, it's in pretty nice shape. You can see. I mean, it's really everything is there and in.
Yeah, it almost looks like a cobbled together home brew set. Base
Yeah.
doesn't match.
You may be right. You may be right. So he's charging the uniqueness surcharge. Here's a tombstone. I'm not sure. Let's see if we can get a closer look on this.
Oh, Zenith.
Zenith. It's an early Zenith.
Zenith.
Nice.
I don't think the Zenettes were actually made by Zenith, strangely enough.
Yeah, this is.
It's a lower price entry into the
Oh, yeah,
market.
Zenith, yeah.
I mean, look at that. Isn't that actually beautiful? You actually look at the details. It's always impressive. You look at,
Well, your camera is good. We can even make out that one screw is missing there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, aha. Yes, indeed. So we've isolated the one missing
That
part.
was the price right there.
There was I can't remember the second fellow's name, but there was a book on Zenith. Blankenship was
Yeah,
one of
but it doesn't say Zenith.
and
No.
he
Zenith.
talks about the Zenettes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it is Zenith. Thank you. It actually, you're right. It is the Zenith.
I just saw the big Z at first and then.
Yeah.
I forgot that. I remember I talked to Michael about that one because I said I've never seen a Zenith. At least my first one I've seen at the show.
Well, that had to be awful close to copyright issues or trademark issues.
Yeah, I would say so. In
Well,
today's world, to be suing, no question.
It's
actually,
not to be
again-
confused with a Jeanette who works the front desk.
Should have put it beside her, so you have,
Her namesake.
the cabinet is also in nice shape. I mean, this is actually a nice
We
radio.
do not see those alone.
No, that's the thing.
30, 31.
Is that right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it's very attractive unit. And like I said, my first internet I've seen. Is
Ooh, very
another nameless radio.
Art Deco.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it beautiful? Now I'm going to see if I can
Shadow.
scan into the bottom. There's maybe a label. I see script. Now the thing is, I don't know if anyway, it looks like an L to me.
I wonder if that's not Lionel. I had a Lionel radio at one time.
Lionel, like the train maker.
Hmm. It's not related to the train maker, but it was a Clinton made chassis, and the brand name was Lionel.
Interesting. I think this is all on Michael's table. He, in fact, when I was talking to him, he said, yeah, I like to bring all these oddball ones because, you know, he just wants to do something different where you just don't see these. And he certainly more than accomplished it. Because another one I've never seen before. Very attractive. I mean, and not grow tired of looking at it on the table, top of my table, that's for sure. You know, especially if it's spruced up a bit. Yeah, this was his table. As you can see, I just took out the whole family photo of what he brought.
Looks like he's got an Echo phone too.
Sorry?
Looks like he's got an Echo phone right next to the tombstone there. On the right. One more over. There you go, right there. It's a cathedral.
Sorry, I'm blind here. So we just look at that.
Right there. You're on it. Right there.
Oh, you're right. Good catch, Greg. I'm not sure if I have a close-up of that. Did I manage to miss that one? So what do you think this is?
It's called an Echo phone because I have one and I recognize it. It's a 1930. That and the Philco Model 20 were considered the first cathedrals. From what I read.
Not the Motorola someone was looking for next door?
Yes, the Motorola.
The
Yes,
Motorola,
that's
right.
one that Jeff said he would have come home with had he seen it.
Right.
Yeah.
He may have another chance. I'm not sure.
I remember that table too. I remember that table. I walked right by it.
Yeah, to me, it was a great photo op because said, wow, look at all these here. There's not a single one here I've seen before. So yeah, that was, and this is still, well, while everyone was still setting up. That's why I try to take my photos early before I have to fight off everybody to try and get a shot in. I'm trying to think of the table this was, but there was just a wide variety of, there's some, oh, I know who this was. There's a gentleman, oh, what was his name? I can't think of it offhand. He brought a wide variety of I have lots of neat photos of all these different, portable, little transistor radios, all these, some were rare, some were just absolutely brand new, never been opened out of the box. I mean, you flip the box up and it still is in packaging, and I'll show you some photos of them. And he had some neat stuff. Like a radio, I almost bought a radio from him because I've never seen one before, and I'll show you. It was a Raytheon radio, AM FM radio. And my first company I worked for was Raytheon. I thought, maybe I should buy this, I was, I'll think about it. And before I knew it, came back, it's gone. So lesson learned, but you'll see a photo of it later. But he had brought all sorts of neat stuff. I thought he had an excellent table of just, you could spend an hour sifting through all the stuff he brought. You can see, I'll have better shots of some of the individual ones later, but he had lots of whole variety. And some were, pretty common. It's some, like I said, were just brand new.
Nice Ivan up there. Bob Bennett would like that.
Oh, yes. But just he had two radios. He had a whole gamut. He had a reel-to-reel, which I'll show a picture of later. It reminded me just something right you see out of the early Mission Impossible. But
that little radio on the styrofoam box almost looks like it's brand new.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, this I believe, and I think of a photo. This one up here, I believe, is brand new. And a lot of these you said were either hardly used or brand new. But you can see a number of these were used. I've seen been used, but this would have been, Henry would have had a field day at this table had he been able to make it.
Second row in the upper left.
Second row, upper left.
Yeah, right there. That's an odd looking.
I think I have a better photo of that, Carl. I'll see if we'll.
Almost looks like it has constellations on it, like.
Yeah.
Or blood stains.
Yeah, it's the Sopranos edition. It's the Sopranos edition.
The motel special.
Yeah, no, this one actually, fortunately, I think is intended, and not because of
Not the router table.
not the homicide edition. But yeah, I think I have a better photo of that later. It's sold by Tony Soprano, but
We have to show that later after the kids go to sleep.
That's
yes,
good.
indeed. This is a neat Motorola. I don't know what this says for the scripting. Does anyone know?
6, custom 6.
Custom 6. Thank you. I started to think maybe it says custom.
I think I've seen one of those before. They're not bad little sets, actually. They're just, it's a very 50s looking thing. That's got a little crack in it up there, a couple little cracks, but for what they were.
It's got a loudness control.
Sorry?
Got a loudness control.
Yeah, well, I guess it's like all the volume, it reminds me a little bit like a TV. It has some reason it has a look of a TV.
Knobs look like from a TV.
Maybe.
I'm gonna duck out, folks. I gotta go do something. Happy Patty's Day. I'll watch the video
Thank
later.
you.
And thank you, John and Paul and everybody for
Glad you joined us when you did.
And
Enjoy
thanks
the rest
for
of your evening.
the curve tracer. I'm psyched for it. Thanks.
Take care.
Bye.
They're all those pastel 50 colors, baby blue. And mint
Oh,
color.
yeah. Yeah, this one I believe is new or newish. I fortunately get to see every radio. I could have spent an hour opening its radios
It's
up.
a very nice looking Scott. I'm not too much of I don't know too much about Scott later on, but that looks like kind of a nice, what is that, a tuner, or is that actually a stereo amp?
Well, certainly it's minimally a tuner, but it's only FM. It looks
Amp.
could be a tuner amp. Let's see. It says it's an FM multiplex stereo tuner.
Very nice.
Now it may have an amplifier built in. It doesn't really.
Yeah, because you got the input for the tape.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or is that output for tape?
Could be a recording output for a tape.
Yeah. I'll bet it is.
With that blue dial, it probably looks pretty cool if it's lit.
There's no volume control on it.
Yeah, I think it's just a tuner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. Other than cosmetically. it
No
looks great.
loudness control.
Yep. Exactly. Good catch there, Carl. Yeah. The only thing the cosmetic.
Softness control either.
He's very friendly.
Sorry.
Said no softness control either.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those are good quotes.
It looks all complete, short of the knob cap here. I think looks to be missing, but otherwise,
John, that raises a question. Is the tuning knob the correct knob?
Yes, just a knob cap that's gone.
Or it could be missing, it could be missing a little piece of brass or whatever.
Yeah.
It's knurled similar to the smaller knob, so I'd say it probably is, but it's missing the that center part,
Yeah.
whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Right. Just got to take that last one off and then you got a perfect match.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting that there's a switch there to select the function of the tuning meter. I find
Yeah.
that interesting. Of course, a lot of more expensive sets had 2 meters, but not meaning the 2 meter band. Oh boy, I'm messing this up, aren't I? Meaning one for signal strength, one for
Right.
center tuning. But cool.
Yeah. No, it's one I've never seen before, so I thought that was certainly a photo worthy.
So what'd you do? You tune in your station, then switch it to strength to see how strong it was?
I suppose.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, I don't know.
Maybe the other way around. You tune in a nice strong station and then switch over to make sure you were in the center of the band to get your stereo correct.
Oh, true, because there is a stereo indicator here as well.
Yeah, but you couldn't hear it anyway, John, so it didn't matter.
That is true.
But it's a Scott.
Can't argue with the logic there.
But you knew it was centered and strong.
Right.
It was all in your mind. Yes, indeed. But yeah, I'll tell you, actually, this gentleman brought a lot of neat stuff to, you know, like I said, I could have spent an hour at his table just sifting through it. And he was actually kind enough to let me open up a few pieces just so I could take photos, because I said, wow, it's like brand new. I take a few photos. Goes, oh yeah, absolutely. But even this, I haven't even seen this too often, this, you know, little portable, actually. I'm not even sure what kind it is, to be honest with you. Transistor 9 transistor. Is that an M? Is that Motorola?
That's M for medium wave.
Oh, okay. So it remains unknown who made this unit. Ah, yes, he had a lot. They had lots of neat stuff. You know, here's this neat little Philco portable. I thought that was actually quite neat. And
It's a cute little K part behind there too, on the other side, the blue, the powder blue one. Yeah, that's a 50s 50s collection right there.
yeah, he had a number. He must have had an easy. Must have had an easy dozen or dozen and a half of such radios. I think you'll see better photos.
That little Zenith box is sitting on a Stromberg Carlson, and I don't know what the last one is in the back. Maybe a Motorola or an.
Oh, this one here?
To the left of it. Excuse me, to the right.
Oh, this one here. I don't know if I got a better shot of that. I can't remember if I did. This one, I'm almost sure is the Raytheon radio, which I was able to actually get this green one out of the way so I could take a better shot. He was very kind to let me do that, because I said, I've never seen a Raytheon AM FM radio. I think I need to have a shot.
What's the right on top of that brown radio? Is that a microphone, or is that a tiny radio?
Oh, this one here.
Right on
That
top.
looks like that's a microphone for a tape recorder. It's got a
Right.
little-
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's what I thought. I couldn't see whether or not the plug was a
Got it.
AC plug or.
Right. It's
a remote control microphone.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Technology.
at its finest.
That's right.
Overseas.
Is that
Sky
to the-
had this editorialist on and just laced into Kamala Harris like I haven't
Whoops.
seen in a long time.
Who's got that radio on?
Picked up a radio station there. Which one of those radios is on in that picture? They turned that off.
This had to cut it for a minute for the sake of the show and brevity.
Is
But
that,
this is a dressing down like I haven't seen in a long time. Check this
I
out.
see if I can.
Is a heartbeat away from the president.
There we go.
There we go.
I was going to say, I don't think it's me. I mean,
I was gonna say you did an impressive
wonder
job
where
there,
it's
Paul.
coming from, and then you wonder if it's like, do I have another window open here somewhere?
No, it's yeah, that's okay. Oh yes, he had this chair side, same vendor.
Yep, I have one of those.
It's a Motorola.
That's that one when I did show and tell. That's basically like a 1942 DeSoto car
Yes.
radio that they had extra car radios left over because they weren't making cars because of World War II. So instead they built a power supply and built furniture and put car radios inside and made chairside radios out of them.
That's right. That's right. And actually, you know, for a few of us who are car aficionados, I actually like the that early 40s the
Yep.
DeSoto front end.
He got all excited when I came over to look at it. He was like, "Oh, I got a fish on the line. I'll be able to sell this boat anchor." And then I told him I already had one. He was crushed.
Because this had pop-up headlights, which is unusual for that era.
Yeah, that's only the 42 DeSoto had that.
Right,
Yeah.
and that's pretty cool because DeSoto was a relatively conservative car, as all the Chryslers were back at that period. So that was actually kind of a big deal. Plus, that looks like, is that a B26?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know my planes like I know my cars.
But anyway, we digress. But anyway, it was actually a neat chairside radio.
Yeah, wood's in good condition.
Yeah, I mean, certainly could be cleaned up and not have to do a full. Here's, I think, I have a reasonable look at the radio, which is actually all the dials are there. You know, all the buttons seem to be solid and look correct.
Although over those white plastic push buttons on my radio, I have little chrome caps that go on top of those.
That came
So
with
the
that?
ivory shows where you touch it with your finger, but then all around the outside, it's got chrome caps around.
Oh, I see. So he's missing the chrome caps, unless that was an option.
Hey guys, I gotta cut out, but I'll watch the video later. Thank you for everything.
Alrighty.
Oh yeah. Thanks for attending.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh yeah, I took it a little closer because I thought it was just neat. I liked the history. In case anyone wanted to look at it more, you know, at their leisure when they look through all the photos.
Of course, it says war news, which is even better.
Exactly. And he brought a lot of what I would call the novelty radios.
Yeah.
He had lots of them. In fact, the one I almost came away with, I just couldn't convince myself. But you name it. I mean, look at it. Seeing the cigarette box radios, you know, the orange.
You want to lock?
You know, Tropicana. You know, the old telephone style. The Statue of Liberty.
The official Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, that's right. You saw that official, not the unofficial.
It's the official Statue of Liberty commemorative AM radio.
Exactly. And this unofficial garbage.
I wonder if they sold those at the gift shop at the.
They might have on Ellis Island or something.
Yeah, at the statue, huh?
Yeah, he had.
I like those. I like those globe radios. I almost wanted to grab one of those.
Yeah.
Too, huh?
Yeah, those were nice. He had a couple of those. Yeah, he had really good stuff. Oh, no, this is a different table.
Yep.
This was neat. Another novelty radio. White satin, dry gin. Really nice shape too. I mean, all the labeling, everything is in really, really good shape. I have no idea what this.
It's like the original styrofoam, you know, package.
Could be. It could be. I have no idea what he was asking because I never saw a price or I didn't spend the time to check. But very nice shape.
If the radio ever failed, you just fill it with gin.
There you go. That was the intent, I'm sure. There's the Raytheon. I got that.
Oh, you definitely should have bought that one.
Yeah, you know, it was AM FM. Sure. And I thought he was asking $50 for it. And,
it's like put down the camera and pick up the wallet.
Yeah, that's
well, you could sell that to any engineer who worked at Raytheon for probably way more than $50.
I look back and I said, it was untouched radio. In other words, no restoration, but you could see the cabinet cosmetically. It's a nice shape. And I thought, I probably will never want to see these again. And I walked away, took more photos, and I thought, let me think about it. And then I walked back and it was gone. But it's enough of us probably in that room that a number of us probably a Raytheon alumni or knew someone who worked there, so probably it got snatched up for that reason. So I guess it was my loss, But
I have a secondary connection to Raytheon because it was probably Raytheon to help me pay off my mortgage by buying all the Hewlett Packard's test equipment that I sold to them back in the day.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, that's a good point. Mine was my first job for the first 3 years. But I mostly worked in air traffic control projects, and then I did some other stuff. But Neat radio. I'm not sure how often I'll get a chance to see one of those again, but that's all right. I'll show you what I did come away with, which is really, I got a consolation prize.
It probably has an RCA jack in the back to plug in a phonograph too.
Yeah, it probably does. And I wonder if it's, just a single, it's a single speaker or dual. I have a feeling it's just a single, but it wouldn't surprise me, but I can't see enough to tell whether it's got the multi-switch beyond AM, FM.
Kind of unique dial though. That's kind of cool.
I was thinking
Probably
that too. I love the
chart.
that's why, I should just, well, that's all right. It's probably better I didn't, but in retrospect, I wish I came home with that and the one I did come home with, which I'll show.
When you plug that in and turn it on, you get this fluorescent green backlight of that screen too. You would have really loved to see it. I have no idea, but
boy, if it was, now I'd really hate myself.
Let's move on to the next slide.
Yeah, stop looking at it. Stop torturing yourself. Next slide.
There you go. I did get a better shot. It is a Motorola.
There you go. There's your Motorola.
Yeah. Nice shape too. I mean, it's all there as far as I could see.
Yeah, and that's probably a plastic, dial glass or, dial cover, whatever you want to call it. So those sometimes are not so hot. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Again, yeah.
Looks like awesome. Kind of took an AM, like an AA5 case and just stuck it in there too,
Yeah.
Looks like a lot of Motorola's.
And it's got two bands, BC and BC.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. It's redundancy. The early days of redundancy.
You could probably knock him down on the price because I think the dial pointer is bent.
I've got a that's actually interesting because I have a Nord Menda compact stereo AM FM early 70s. So but it had the entire face, the entire length. It's very thin. And it's got that L-shaped dial pointer because all the bands are at the top, but selected bands, I think FM and AM are also in the front. So you could dial and look at directly in the front if it were sitting on a shelf and sitting on top, something's obscuring the top, or you can look directly down on it. I thought it was pretty clever. You don't see that too often until now, where you actually see the same approach, where you go either up or down.
It's probably for the tall and the short customer.
There you go. Exactly.
What year do you think that is?
Let's see here.
That Raytheon won't go away.
No, I know. I forgot I had a second shot.
Like a ghost.
I know. Well, I promise you, I think it's the last one, but
John, buy me.
Yeah, it's too late, sucker.
Is that the one on eBay that just went for 2,000?
It's only getting worse.
That's all right. I'll show. I still feel good about what I came away with. I'll show.
It's going to be 10% more next month.
Probably. That's okay. The one I did come away with, I will maybe show it either the end of this meeting or the next one. It is more aesthetically pleasing than that one. So
I need to ask a rookie question with all you experts online here. I'm noticing on a lot of these AM radios the absence of the little tiny civil defense triangles where you're supposed to tune when the air raid siren goes off.
What was that?
I'd say
it's a
this is probably from around 46 or so, and probably before that system was in place.
Okay.
Yes, the Colorad system wasn't established yet, so they're just straight BCs. Probably like immediate post-war, 46, 47, 48s.
Yeah, that I agree, Paul. It's a great looking radio. I mean, we polish it up, this thing would really sparkle. It's actually a nice radio. There it is again.
Yes.
Front shot. But I couldn't help it. I said, I'll if nothing else, I'll never see one of these probably again in my lifetime.
It's one of those rare FM radios that goes down to 87, not just 88.
Yes.
That was an option.
There you go.
That's because it was Raytheon. The Raytheon engineers got it to go down to 87.
Yeah,
you could listen to channel 6 on that.
Right.
I wonder how that was lit. I wonder if it was like the bulb was in behind the thing or sitting above. I'd love to see how it would be lit.
It's radium. It glows in the dark.
That's probably true. Probably
The last three owners passed away.
Yep. And the little old lady who painted the dog.
Yeah.
Watches, yeah, the watch factory.
Here's an example of essentially a nearly brand new, you know, ray of the Zenith, you know, Royal 250. I mean, you know, for all intents and purposes, either saw no use or very little. You know, all the things nicely packaged. Even you look at the cover.
Is that the right knob on the left? Because look at how big the hole is.
Yeah, I don't think that's the right radio for that case.
Oh, dude, maybe I'm.
I don't think. Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think it is.
Oh,
Yeah,
maybe
'cause it
you're
looks
right.
like an owl, and then the other, or it could be that the knob is not the correct knob.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. What the heck is he?
Yeah, but the speaker doesn't match up either.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe this is just a
ripoff.
A ripoff. Aha.
Throw this guy out of the show.
Closer examination that people are discovering that there's a lot. You know, this is some.
We're the authenticity police that.
Who was president during this show?
That's right.
Get rid of that guy.
That's a snake oil salesman. Yeah, good catch there.
We have a reputation that we need to maintain here for this show. We can't be, you know.
Oh, based on this, we're not going back to Nashua.
All right.
That's it. I think
We
that
got
was
a reputation, all right.
Honest John's very used radios.
That's it. You did have the sign, and as you're puffing on your cigar, no credit, no problem.
That's right.
No reasonable offer refused.
Whoops. Did I take another shot? Occasionally, I have a habit. You'll see once like that 5% case where I took more than one photo of the same thing inadvertently because I was just too excited to see all these different toys. So I apologize if that were the case. Okay, there was just another couple of things he had, which I think have somewhat better, you know. I just enjoy even just seeing the box art, you know, especially the stuff where it's like, you know, definitely the atomic age, you see the atom.
And it's a pendant radio too.
Yes, indeed. I don't think I remember if I opened that one. Oh yeah. Oh, this was the same vendor was selling the. I thought it was a different table. Must be thinking of a different vendor. With the.
No, there was a different vendor. I think it was over in the other room that had like the real deal. Like this is a novelty. I wouldn't doubt if it was a transistor, but in the other room, it looked like there was another kind of bottle of liquor.
Yes.
And you could see inside of it the actual vacuum tubes because it was like the real deal.
Exactly. And I do have a photo of that later. All right, I guess just another shot. Sorry about that. We already kind of covered that, so I'm not gonna. Oh, I thought this was just interesting. It's a little tiny little radio called Radio Time. I thought, well, this is kind of different. That's the cover. And you open up, and there you go. Little unit, you know, with the clock and AM radio. And I thought, well, I've never seen that
travel.
I have a very similar one to that, but it's not made to look like a little book or whatever like that appears to be. Mine just looks more like a regular case, but you open it up and it's AM, FM, and it has a little volume control, tuning, and
yeah, I think I remember you doing that when you did your show.
Yeah,
we did the
looks like
walkthrough.
it might be made by the same company, just a different form factor or something.
Yeah, you may be right, Noah. Yeah, I thought it was neat. You know, I hadn't seen one before. It was certainly photo worthy. Montvale. Not something you see all that time. Oh, it's at the McDonald symbol.
Batteries are included.
Yes, indeed. You know, it was neat. It's certainly an eye catcher. I said, but it's almost like it's got a combination of McDonald's and Burger King. Like it's the fast food rating. Oh, I thought this was interesting. This is a Tom Thumb portable that is meant to be used with a car. You know, you could, back the 50s and 60s, you could like, it was popular with the Europeans. They would have, I have one, for example, a Telefunken Bajazzo that was intended to have a sleeve that you would add into your car and connect to your speaker. And so you could just take it with you because it's a battery operated set but you could power off the cars, certainly off the cars DC. And it was portable. And so I never saw a Tom Thumb until now of the same form factor. So I thought, well, this is certainly worth the point, catching.
It's to go into that's made to go into a Crosley.
Very possibly. Certainly is the name would be appropriate, right?
Exactly.
I thought it was neat. I've never seen one before. You can see the push button to release it because it would have a sleeve that this would slide into.
Yep.
AM only, but I thought it was cool. I've never seen before. Same vendor, all these interesting neat stuff. And there was this reel-to-reel.
There it is. Good morning, Mr. Briggs.
Yes, or good morning, Mr. Phelps.
Just to accept this mission.
And it looks like the white smoke did emerge. Given
I can only do this demonstration once.
But yeah, I thought it was kind of cool because you don't see these small reel-to-reel in this form factor very often. Yeah, there was the box to it, the mini OMGS model
with two separate motors.
As you can see, parties, home, school, office, doctors, lawyers, traveling, and Mission Impossible. 1964.
Yeah.
This was the one that he said was brand new. This OMGS Suburbia. Original batteries. I'm blown away by that. These Hitachi batteries.
Suburbia.
Of course, Suburbia. You look at it. It's funny they come up with these names, right? But
oh my God, Suburbia.
Yeah, that's basically.
If you lived in the metropolitan Boston, it wouldn't work.
Right.
That's right. Rights gets defeated. But the box.
Transistors.
Sorry.
Does that say 42 transistor?
12.
Oh, okay. I was reading off the radio. It looked like 42 to me, and I was thinking that's a hell of a lot of transistors.
Oh no, it's a model. It's in Roman numerals.
Oh, okay.
Even 12 is a lot.
Yeah, that is actually.
Of course, they would use them as diodes too.
Right.
Right. Yep, that's true. Extra large speaker, but actually, you know what? It was kind of neat to see this brand new radio from, I guess, probably late 60s, would I say, or mid to late 60s.
That little packet on the upper right is probably where the earphone is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the case looks really, no cracks. And
no, it's if you're looking, you want something unique and brand new. I mean, it's hard to turn something like that down. I don't remember what he was asking for it though. But
little GE clock radio there with a 45 on top, huh?
Yeah, I thought that was actually rather nice. And it looks like I think GE put out their own
knob.
Sorry?
You need
missing
a knob.
Yeah, agreed. Yep, right there. But that's probably easy enough to find. But yeah, I thought it was actually a nifty little unit. And
what is that turquoise radio to the right? It looks like a little charger.
Yeah.
That is a
VHF Sentry.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Pretty cool, huh?
BC and VHF.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, this guy had
you can get WBZ radio and television.
That's right.
Oh, it does digital too?
Yeah, old BC television.
That's right. Oh yeah, here's some more. Okay,
just look at it all.
this was a different one. This is an Esquire. That's
Mm.
interesting. I've never seen an Esquire.
And that looks like the real Esquire logo.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe if you subscribed, they sent you a free radio.
Right, right.
There you go.
Gift
And
with
he had some. He had some.
Well, just like those, I used to have a couple of Bulova radios.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Could have been the same thing. If you got a Bulova watch, maybe they'd send you a radio or something. I don't know.
I guess he was running low on display cases, huh?
Yeah, he had
Yeah.
a lot of stuff. He was, we had a box full of like old calculators. This old base TI, it reminded me, just right out of like, that's your base calculator that you got around the mid to late 70s.
For $400.
Right.
Battery GE. There's an Air King to the left of it. That's a little Air King with the white and brown Bakelite case.
Yep.
It's another one.
Yeah, he had a lot of. They had a lot of good stuff. You didn't.
Who is this dude?
I can't remember his name. I think I might have a photo of him inadvertently. I can't remember his name, and I wanted to say his name was Alan, but I don't know his last.
Does he come to Brookline at all, or does he just do the?
I don't remember seeing him coming to Brookline before, at least not to this level of goodies. This was a pretty impressive haul he brought in. I don't know how well he did. Well, I know at least he made $50 or something thereabouts because he sold the radio.
No, he sold it to the guy for 25, John.
Probably.
Who now has it on eBay?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
250.
Yeah, right. It's, right.
It's a tough crowd. Tough crowd.
That's all right. It's fun.
I've been down that road, John. It's the road of regrets.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Just before, we probably will go for another 5 or 10 minutes, maybe or so. I'll show you what I did come home with, just to prove that I did not come away so with tears streaming down my eyes. I came out with 2 items. I'll show one of them. I'll save the other one for the next meeting because it's not really a.
There's always another show.
There's always another show, exactly, because there's no way we're going to get all these done. But anyway, this is just stuff.
Edison cylinders, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was neat to see that, because he covered the gamut from old to fairly new, not new. And
that little brown plastic case is a little alarm clock travel thing that does have the glow in the dark radium letters and numbers on it that kill people.
He's got everything.
You are right. He was the jack of all trades. I mean, you could really spend a lot of time playing around with all the toys.
Dylan in the Dead.
He's got knives, you name it.
With a Dolby system.
He looks like a guy who's like one of these dudes who scours, flea markets. Yeah, he
was a really nice guy. I had a nice chat with him.
Yeah,
that radio.
Here's a radio that's got. Who's asking about radios? Transistors. This has 1,000 transistors.
Yeah, 1,000 radio.
1,000 transistors.
Transistor 9. That they eventually they put the 9 after the fact. You see that, right? 1,000. Holy smokes! 1,000.
United Royal, and look at that logo. It looks awful.
Yeah, it looks like a Zenith to me.
Huh? That looks like a Zenith.
I've heard of inflating the active device count for marketing purposes, but that's kind of ridiculous.
Must be a Carl Sagan edition. It's got billions.
That Radeon radio is on eBay.
Just
no way.
For 150.
150. No. They flipped it. I can't.
I'm not sure if it's the exact same one, but
where's
the seller from?
Nashua.
You're kidding.
It's in Nashua.
Nashua, New Hampshire.
Is that right?
Free local delivery.
Free delivery to Brookline.
I keep flipping it. Before you know, it's like $500 by the fall Brookline or something. Len, did it really say it's from Nashua?
No.
That's funny. Yeah, here's the box cover for this. I thought, well, this is kind of neat. You know, I've never seen one of these before. It looks like almost like a knockoff or something. But it looks like, you know, a somewhat semi-legitimate knockoff.
1000 sounds like a bad translation.
Yeah. Yeah, I know where
Somebody
you're
in
coming from.
Japan who's not quite sure of how to phrase it.
Here's a wrist radio.
Wow.
I thought that was kind of neat. You know,
Dick
just because,
Tracy, yeah.
exactly, you know, a little, you know.
For the jogger.
Yeah, an early Apple.
And here's an audition. Again, I've never heard of some of these. An audition with this command.
With a, look at that, with a push-pull audio output stage through a transformer.
Yeah.
Into a teeny little transit or a teeny little speaker.
Yeah.
Pretty
Well,
amazing.
you haven't heard it, Larry. You don't know that.
It's all complete.
I think it's a pretty good bet, Carl.
Yeah.
But
they don't show the 400-volt supply for the electrostatic tweeter that comes with it, though. Available separately.
Yes, that's right. Sold separately. This looks fairly. I mean, it was like, you know, pretty complete. So don't know what you know. Again, it's not something you see very often, but yeah, for what it's worth. Oh, that's a Lux Tone. I kind of opened up the box to see what was in there.
The pendant radio.
You know, so I don't know. It's what's in the name, right? I didn't play around too much. Like, I guess I should have opened it up or taken a better shot.
It's a pendant radio. They give it to the wife for Valentine's Day.
There you go. That's perfect.
Yeah, you give that a try.
Don't they make the rolling pin radio?
Yeah, right.
All right.
New scrub.
Requires no batteries.
Buddy L calculator cash register.
Take a look at that thing. I thought it was hilarious.
The big readout.
The Buddy L.
Just for me.
That would be perfect for the office.
That would be. I actually thought it was hilarious, right? You know, well, I need toys. Another TI, couple of TI radios, the Buddy L. Oh yeah,
Used to have some Buddy L trucks, toy trucks.
Oh yeah, it's the same manufacturer, but yes,
They're very collectible. They probably just slapped, you know, paid and slapped the logo on.
Yeah,
there you go.
It's kind of a neat little TV, huh?
Yeah, I thought, hey, you know, I said, all right, you know, AM, FM, TV.
Earlier Samsung phone.
Samsung.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's neat. Again, something you don't see all that often. And that's kind of like a pan out of all the stuff he brought. He had lots of goodies. Somewhere along the line, there's a photo with him in there, but I just don't remember. It shows up later. Oh, I wonder whose this is.
I don't know. Should have been yours.
There's some guy chomping on a cigar. It's like, what can I do to get you into this baby today?
Exactly.
So I guess
free with purchase.
Yes, well, you're including the piece of paper with it. You get a free piece of paper with the radio. Yes, a Blaupunkt. What else? I'm sure I got a few more shots of other goodies you brought. Ah, yes, the Olympic Opta. Is this an Olympic? Yes, Olympic Opta. I have the same radio.
That disappeared. That went bye-bye, as did the radio that's sitting on top of it.
Well, you know what? That's a good deal because you know what? These, if I may just for a moment, these are nifty little radios for their size. They're two-speaker. The Olympic Opta, Olympic was the importer for Lova Opta, and of course, what they often did is the importer would sometimes have them labeled with their name, and usually have whatever model they're bringing in had all the features. So this one is the same one from Lova Opta. You can get them without the sound register buttons, or you could opt for it. And you get, and so they did is they had it, you know, fully featured, and it's a nifty little radio. It's a nice little, you know, EM80 tuning eye, and it sounds great. I have.
It sounds almost as good as the bigger Blaupunkt to the left of it.
Yeah, But this little radio, and I paid the same price too, and I'm like, I couldn't be happier for $40, you know, for size and aesthetics and sound quality. So
I like the little RCA on top of it.
yeah, that was nice. I think I have a better photo of it later.
You know, for simple radio, they play pretty well.
Oh, that also has the little, for lack of a better term, RCA jack on the side of it to plug the little phonograph into as well.
Yeah, right. It's certainly that applied here as well to the Olympic Opta. You certainly had input for that. But yeah, those are both nice radios that you sold, Noah.
Always wonder why people stack radios on top of each other. I mean, unless the radio you're putting it on top of is kind of trashed. No, I always wondered, did it look better before he did that? You know,
right.
Right.
What are you doing this for?
Because I only had one table.
You know, get some old bath towels or cardboard or something, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Anyway, figures you're going to refinish everything you buy, right?
That's right. Both of those, no, the upper radio went and the bottom Magnavox came home.
Now, what is this actually? This small one?
That's an Emerson.
Oh, I'm still looking for the classic logo. Oh, there it is. You have to look really hard. There it is.
Yep, it's down between those two front knobs.
Yeah.
That's an actually attractive little radio. I like the window.
Mantle set.
Kind of a pain in the butt to work on. Those things are really crammed into that chassis. That was a difficult one to recap.
Oh, really? Interesting.
How did it sound, John, after you did it?
It was good. Good. Yeah, no, it was mostly, you know, the electrolytics. It was mostly, you know, getting rid of the hum.
And here's that RCA you sold.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice,
I mean, the thing
nice
on that is, you know, the metal looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
It's a nice
scratched
little
up
radio.
too much, you know.
Just can't keep them all, you know.
Yeah, I like it with the little center bar. Attractive and more than reasonable. The asking, since it was recapped, so it's like you can get a nice
Take it
radio.
home, clean it up, and play it. You're in good shape.
Exactly. At $35, that's a good deal.
Well, and not to bore anybody with the story, but the Joe Coco came earlier than I did, and he set up in my space, which was in the middle of the room. So I wound up setting up in his space, which was up against the wall. So I was able to plug all this stuff in. It's pretty, it was amazing. I don't know. You know, everybody's, does that work? Does that work? It's like, yeah, they all work. I can plug in anything. A guy walked up to me. He had his own 45 RPM 7-inch record. And I had one of those little RCA record players, not the kind that would plug into this radio because it had its own little, you know, amplifier and speaker built into it. But he was like, can you play this for me? It's like, yeah, sure I can. And boom, put it on, and $135 later, he walked away with it. So
very nice.
It was a good thing. I have to thank Joe the next time I see him or talk to him.
The Bing Crosby.
My Bing Crosby came home with me. A couple of people came over and were crawling all over it, and we're all excited about it, and then never came back.
Huh.
But that's okay. You know, I like it, so I didn't mind bringing that home.
Yeah, that was a nice piece though. You know, not needing much cosmetic at all. You know, a little bit here, a little bit there.
But considering that it's like, what, you know, 1946 or whatever it was, you know.
Sure, absolutely. Agreed. This was not your table. I think this was Paul's table. Buy this one, the other one's free. That was kind of funny.
Yeah.
All the prices are $30 for the one on the right.
Yep.
$15 for the one on the left.
All triple drinks, double priced.
Right. That was kind of funny. And
oh, a Heath kit.
Yeah.
I would have bought that.
Oh, you're moving up in gear?
I would have bought that AR3.
That almost looks like a, the case looks like, remember that contact paper? Or
Yeah, yeah, it
something?
does, but I don't think I think that's just the way it is. I did.
I think it's
remember-
supposed to be faux marble.
That's the original.
Is
Yeah.
it metal?
Yeah.
There's like a spray
No,
on it?
it's contact paper, sort of.
Yeah.
I built my first receiver that way, out of that one.
Nice, it's a nice shape and you don't see the main knobs like that very
Yeah.
often.
It's either a Heathkit AR2 or AR3.
Yeah.
What
this
was
is
the,
nice.
did they build just a straight broadcast version of that?
Well, it's got ham bands on it.
Yeah, no, I know that one, but I think they did make just a broadcast band version too.
I don't know.
And it's got the
The,
little.
the broadcast one is a lot smaller. I had one of those there, but to find it in that shape is very rare.
Yeah.
Because it's actually medium density fiberboard under that faux finish.
Yeah.
And mine very quickly, if you put something on top of it and it's in an attic or a moist place, it sags. And then if mice find it, that's it. They'll chew it up. They'll chew up the housing. So, but that's a beautiful version right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Too bad I didn't make the show. That would have come home.
Bruce, is that the original knob in the middle?
That I can't tell you.
Okay.
And the price was not just 75, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's not bad for that.
No, I'd say just see. Maybe I'll do one more photo and I'll show you what I came away with, and maybe we'll. Oh, that was a different table. This Nordmenda, I think it's the Globetrotter. Yeah, which model this is? Yes, Globetrotter 5. I forgot what model it was, but anyway, these are nice sounding radios. You know, typical heavy portable German radios with the multi-band, many of switches. Great,
Runs on 7.5 volts.
Yeah, I have one. Not the same model, a somewhat newer one, different model, but they are just great sounding radios. Mine has twin speakers. When I bought that from Joe Devonshire, and that's a great sounding radio. They are nice pieces. It's hard to those German portables. The early ones were really nicely built, but they're impossible to work on. That was part of the greater plan, I guess. But what I'll do is maybe one more, and then okay. That is definitely Paul's Lavoie's table, because he does all the restorations. A little GE that I think, I think he did the cosmetics as well. I think, but when do I stop sharing here? We'll leave off here for the next meeting, but I'll quickly show what I brought home. That was not a Raytheon radio, by the way, in case you didn't know. Let me just reshare. Oh, here we go. This is what I came home with. Ta-da! This little model 790 from like 1949. It's an AM FM. It's just a lovely looking radio. I could not pass that up. It's just the beautiful between the grill cloth and the metal grill, and just a really. It has a crack on the top of the case. I got it from Roger, and he reinforced the top with additional like plastic sheet. And because the crack wasn't severe, but it's there. But I said, it's just such a.
Oh, the knobs still have the screening. You can still make out what the knobs say, on, off, tone, volume.
Yeah. And like
What make is it?
Sorry?
What make is it?
This is a Fada model. Is model 790.
Frank and Dave.
Pretty popular, in the restored community because they have that FM on there as well, and they make a pretty good set.
They do.
Well, I still didn't get the name.
Fada. F-A-D.
Oh, okay. Okay, Fada. Thank you.
Yeah.
Fred D'Andrea.
Nice looking.
Yeah, it just lit up. It just has a nice kind of sunburst style effect on the dial face. I just said I couldn't. it was just really captivating. If I get a close up of it, just like, wow, what a great looking radio.
That's very well preserved.
Yeah, you know, I mean, the crack didn't bother me. You know, it's
What
just
the hell with the Raytheon?
yeah. Well, you know, the thing is, you can see why I sort of felt like I you know, wasn't so things weren't so awful.
Oh, you did well.
But so at least I came home with something, and I'll show the other neat thing I came home with to the next meeting. But I guess what I'll do is realistically we'll wrap it up here, and I think we'll just spill over to the next meeting to continue the show because there's lots of fun things to talk about.
Thank you, John.
Oh, you
Thank you
bet.
for doing that.
I'll wish you guys a good rest of your week and weekend, and we'll certainly chatting over email, and of course no later than March 31st, which will be the next show, the very last day in March.
All right.
Happy spring, everybody. We'll see.
And then, all right, guys, take care of yourselves.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Good night. Thanks a lot.
You bet. Thanks, guys.